Welcome to the Daily AI News, brought to you by the Day After AI News channel.
Today is Thursday, March 1st, 2026. We're talking everything from trillion-dollar tech deals to ancient Roman mysteries.
Yeah, it's a really dizzying snapshot of where we are right now.
Definitely. I mean, by the end of this deep dive, you'll understand how AI is completely rewriting the music charts, how it's changing military operations, mapping the human brain, and surprisingly, why making things too easy might actually be terrible for the human mind.
That last one is fascinating. Yeah.
Right. But okay, let's unpack this first story. Because before AI can change our daily lives, it needs massive physical infrastructure. And the sheer scale of the money flowing into this is it's actively rewriting the global economy.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just look at the numbers. Nvidia's CEO is now estimating that $3 to $4 trillion will be spent on AI infrastructure by the end of the decade.
Wait, trillion with a T.
With a T. 3 to 4 trillion. And to put that into perspective, Oracle just revealed this massive 5-year deal with OpenAI starting in 2027. Guess how much?
I don't know, 50 billion.
$300 billion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a $300 billion cloud deal. And Meta is right there, too. They're spending $10 billion on a new data center in Louisiana called Hyperion, and they're building another one in Ohio called Prometheus.
Okay, the Hyperion facility is the one that really caught my eye because they said it needs a 5-gigawatt power supply.
Right, which is just an astronomical amount of energy.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like sci-fi, but 5 gigawatts is basically the energy draw of a medium-sized European country. They're literally using nuclear power for this. And on the hardware side, Huawei just announced this intelligent computing platform service solution.
Yeah, that announcement was wild. They're claiming they can deploy a 1,024-node supercluster in just 15 days.
Which is insane, right? Like a 1,024-node cluster is essentially a world-class supercomputer.
Exactly. I mean, historically, wiring and networking something of that magnitude would take a specialized team, the better part of a year. And they are standing it up in 2 weeks and adapting AI models to it in 5 days.
Okay, let's unpack this. It's like the building of the 1800s railroads, But instead of steel, it's silicon. But here's my question. If companies are spending billions to build these AI trains, what happens to the traditional software companies we rely on today?
Well, this is exactly what people are calling the Cyberattacks.
The Cyberattacks, I like that.
Yeah, it's the potential end of the traditional software as a service model. For years, the SaaS model was everything. You charge a company a monthly fee for every single employee, every seat that uses your software.
Right. Highly predictable recurring revenue.
Exactly. But now, AI coding agents are allowing companies to just easily build their own localized software. We're seeing software turn into, like, a temporary language that an AI speaks to solve a problem, then it just deletes it.
So you don't need a massive vendor anymore.
Right. Look at Klarna. They just ditched Salesforce, which is, a massive CRM product, and they replaced it with a homegrown AI system. If software is just a disposable tool and AI builds on the fly, the whole per-seat pricing model is in deep trouble.
That is a massive shift. And all this infrastructure isn't just for invisible software in the cloud, right? It's powering physical, autonomous agents operating in the real world.
From global factories down to the phone in your hand.
Exactly. Like Samsung just announced this huge strategy to transition their global manufacturing to AI-driven factories by 2030.
Yeah, and they're doing this using digital twins and what's called agentic AI. Plus specialized robots, humanoids, logistics robots, safety robots.
Wait, let's clarify agentic AI for a second. That's different from just a standard programmed robot, right?
Very different. A traditional robot is told exactly what to do. Agentic AI is given a broad goal, and it figures out the steps itself using that digital twin, which is like a perfect virtual simulation of the factory floor.
So it's running simulations, finding the best path, and then just directing the physical robots to do it.
Exactly. Completely autonomously.
Wow. And they are shrinking this down, too. At Mobile World Congress 2026, Samsung showed off the Galaxy S26, and it has agentic AI built right in. They call it Now Nudge.
Right, which anticipates what you need before you even ask for it. And they also introduced an industry-first built-in privacy display.
Yeah, to stop people from reading over your shoulder. But honestly, the thing at MWC that completely broke my brain was the Honor robot phone.
The new form factor. Yeah, that is something else.
It's a phone with a microscopic 4-degree of freedom gimbal system built into it. It literally tracks your motion. It can nod at you, shake its head, and even dance to music.
And they paired that with their Magic Pad 4 tablet, which runs this new AI assistant called OpenClaw.
Right. But wait, a phone that physically nods at me? That is wild. But if our phones and our factories are all running autonomous agents, aren't we creating a massive security risk?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Which brings us right to the security crisis we're seeing. Just look at that OpenClaw assistant we just mentioned. Researchers found a high-severity flaw in it called clawjacked.
Clawjacked. Okay, how did that work?
Well, it allowed malicious websites to bypass localhost WebSockets entirely.
So basically a tunnel right into your system.
Exactly. And the flaw let them brute force passwords and completely hijack the OpenClaw AI platform. Now, they did fix it in version 2026.2.26, but it shows how vulnerable these agents are.
And it gets worse when we look at the geopolitical scale, because Gambit Security just reported a massive hack on the Mexican government.
Yeah, and this is where it gets scary. The hackers weaponized Anthropic's Claude code assistant to pull it off.
They used an AI to hack a government.
They used over 1,000 specific prompts to trick the AI safety guardrails. And once they broke through, the AI literally wrote the exploits and automated the theft of 150 gigabytes of data.
Wow.
We're talking 195 million identities stolen, with the AI doing the heavy lifting.
That is terrifying. And that perfectly segues into this huge divide happening at the Pentagon right now. President Trump banned Anthropic products for federal agencies. Why did that happen?
Well, Anthropic basically refused to allow the Pentagon to use its AI for mass domestic surveillance or autonomous weapons.
Okay. And as a result of the ban, Claude actually shot up to #1 in the Apple App Store, which is an interesting public reaction. But meanwhile, OpenAI swooped in and signed a rushed deal with the Pentagon.
And Sam Altman defended the deal by saying, look, OpenAI actually shares the exact same red lines as Anthropic.
Wait, really? No autonomous weapons, no mass surveillance.
Exactly. But this raises an important question, right? How do we balance national security with AI safety? Because the difference here is how they enforce those rules.
Okay, break that down for me.
Anthropic relies on a policy-based refusal. They basically say, here's our contract, you promise not to do these things. OpenAI, on the other hand, claims an architecture-based defense.
Meaning what, exactly?
Meaning they enforce their red lines through their cloud API deployment architecture. The military doesn't just get the raw model to do whatever they want with. The system architecture itself prevents those specific prohibited uses, rather than just relying on a policy promise.
Oh, interesting. So it's baked into how the tech is deployed. And speaking of regulating all this, we should mention that as of today, Vietnam's new AI law officially takes effect.
Yes, introducing a strict risk-based framework and mandatory labels for any AI-generated media.
Which is going to be crucial, especially when you look at how AI is completely disrupting art and culture right now. Let's talk about the music industry, because it is turning upside down.
It really is. The AI music startups, specifically Suno and Udio, have been facing massive copyright lawsuits from Sony, Universal, and Warner.
But we're seeing some movement there, right?
We are. Udio actually just settled with Universal, Warner, and Merlin. And Suno reached a settlement with Warner as well.
And these companies are making serious money. Suno just hit $300 million in annual revenue. They have 2 million subscribers.
And those subscribers are creating actual hits.
Yes. Okay, so there's this independent artist who goes by China Styles. She's a former nail technician. She just used Suno and ChatGPT to write and produce a song, and it reached #2 on the Billboard R&B charts.
#2. That is incredible.
She is sitting right between Bruno Mars and Justin Bieber on the charts with an AI-generated track. And the big tech companies are leaning into this too. Google just acquired Producer.ai, which runs on their Lyria 3 model, to allow for node-based instrument creation.
Right, and ROX just launched this adaptive AI mixing tool that dynamically adjusts tracks on the fly.
Okay, so what does this all mean? If the AI is doing the mixing and the writing and generating custom instruments, are human musicians obsolete? Or is this just like a new type of instrument?
It's definitely a powerful hybrid workflow for creators. Human creativity is still the driver, but it poses a massive, immediate threat to traditional production music libraries and the traditional industry gatekeepers. You don't need a massive studio budget to sound like a top-tier pop star anymore.
Anyone with a laptop and an idea can chart on Billboard. That's wild. But AI isn't just creating new things, right? It's also unlocking the past. Let's talk about this Roman board game.
Oh, this is one of my favorite stories this week.
Right, so there's this mysterious Roman-era stone game, and scientists in the Netherlands used an AI called Ludii, which was trained on 100 different ancient games to try and crack the rules.
Because nobody actually knew how to play it.
Exactly. And the AI deduced that it was a trapping game. But the crazy part is, the AI predicted the most common moves, and those predictions perfectly matched the 2,000-year-old wear marks on the actual stone.
It literally reverse engineered history.
It's like AI just gave us a pair of glasses that let us see 2,000 years into the past. And at the exact same time, it's letting us see deep into the microscopic chemistry of the human brain.
Yes, the Alzheimer's breakthrough at Rice University.
This is huge. They used label-free hyperspectral Raman imaging combined with machine learning to map the Alzheimer's brain, and they discovered something that kind of challenges everything we thought we knew.
Right, because historically the focus has been on amyloid plaques.
Yeah, but the AI mapped out these uneven metabolic disruptions, specifically changes in cholesterol and glycogen in the hippocampus and the cortex, proving that Alzheimer's is actually a whole brain metabolic issue, not just a problem with those plaques.
Which completely shifts how we might treat it in the future.
Exactly. So AI is solving ancient games, it's diagnosing diseases, it's coding software, it's making our phones nod at us, it's making everything frictionless. And that brings us to our final story. What is the psychological cost of a frictionless future?
And this is where it gets really complicated. University of Toronto study, just published in Communication Psychology, is warning us about exactly this.
Yeah. Here's where it gets really interesting for you listening. Think about why you listen to this deep dive. You love learning. But the study says that friction-like struggle and difficulty is actually essential for learning, for memory, for meaning, and motivation.
Exactly. If we connect this to the bigger picture, AI is stripping away that beneficial friction.
Right. Like, the friction of loneliness is what drives us to seek out human connection.
And the struggle of writing an essay is what builds your cognitive competence. The researchers call them desirable difficulties.
Desirable difficulties. I love that. So if AI does all the heavy lifting for us, do we lose the aha moments that make learning fun? I mean, is it like taking a chairlift to the top of the mountain and claiming you hiked it?
That's a great way to put it. AI is amazing for efficiency, obviously, but we have to be really careful not to smooth away the very struggles that make our human achievements feel meaningful.
Wow. Okay, let's do a rapid recap because we covered a massive scope today. We started with $300 billion data centers and the Sanspocalypse. We talked about agentic factories and AI hacking governments.
We looked at the Pentagon standoff over AI deployment architecture.
Yep, and then AI pop stars on the Billboard charts, decoding 2,000-year-old Roman board games and finding whole brain metabolic disruptions in Alzheimer's patients. It is a lot to process.
It really is. And, building on that University of Toronto study, I want to leave everyone with a final thought to mull over today.
Go for it.
If friction is actually what creates meaning in our lives, perhaps the ultimate luxury in the AI era won't be having an AI do things for you. Perhaps the real luxury will be having the privilege, the time, and the freedom to struggle through doing it yourself.
Man, that is a fantastic point. I'm going to be thinking about that all day. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. And to everyone listening, keep questioning the world around you, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Before you go, please subscribe to the podcast Prime. And if you enjoyed today's episode, hit like to support us. Thanks for listening and see you next time.